Why a podcast? That sounded way more serious than it should have. Why do I want to do a podcast? Why do I want to record, publish a podcast? Uh, the first reason would be that as you can see, I can get laggy when speaking. So I thought a podcast should be a good way to do it because I usually don't speak English as much as I'd like to, and then when I have to, I get all self-conscious about stuff and about what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, and the pauses that I make because I have to think and I have to usually translate stuff from Spanish to English. So yeah, ideally this will help me make sense of what I'm thinking, my ideas, and get out of my head and be able to speak faster while I'm thinking because that's what basically you have to do here. So this is the first one. This is the first reason why. I mean, the first episode, the first reason why. The other one is that I want to get out there. I want to start. I want to start publishing stuff, and I want to, uh, yeah, get the stuff that I think about, the stuff that I learn, that I see, that kind of stuff. Uh, I want to have like an outlet so I can uh, talk about it, but not really at someone directly unless they're actually interested and want to see what I'm talking about. So this is pretty much it. I've tried several stuff before, because like I tried making music videos, but then I have to actually learn to play. And I've tried writing blogs and stuff, but then I get like uh, overthinking the editing part. So it ends up taking a lot of effort to actually make a post. I can write it in like 10 minutes, but then I think like, yeah, I have to edit everything. So it takes a long time. So that's why I stopped writing. And obviously, blogs are hard because people won't find you as easily as other mediums, like probably this. Also, I want to get out of the habit of looking down when I'm talking and thinking. Maybe looking at the camera is a big step, but definitely not looking down because, yeah, I have meetings and stuff. And then when I get the turn to talk, I start looking down. And as I'll probably see when I see this back, it doesn't look great. And it's probably harder for people to connect with me or what I'm saying if I'm not looking at least the screen, ideally the camera, but that's like another step. I don't know. I've always found it weird to talk looking at the camera as I am doing now. I guess I'll get into that with time and effort. But yeah, so that's basically it. I want to get out there. I want to practice speaking in kind of public, but even if not really, and I want to get more fluid with my thinking and talking and that stuff. So yeah. So aside from that, for this one, I want to talk about what I've been learning from building the app I'm currently working on. I'll go first for a bit of context. I've been working mobile apps for 7, 9 years or something, and I've always tried to like build something or get out of there. I've always been looking for the idea that's gonna, as I call it, make me rich. And I haven't found it yet, but I've learned a ton. And so that's how I learned how to code and stuff. Yeah, I'm a software engineer, and I've been working for almost 10 years, uh, mostly in mobile apps, mostly iOS apps. And yeah, so last year, my wife and I started using Twitter, now X. How the fuck do people breathe? Started using X to get out there and also like start building projects. We started with Notion because as a lot of other people, we discovered Islo, we discovered Notion, and we said, yeah, we should try that. And we went to X, and first we started like creating an account and posting as our company. And then we said, yeah, that's not gonna be working, so we started ourselves, like as us in the company. And that's kind of working. And then we got to the whole Notion X community in yeah, and we met a ton of people, and that's when I saw like the problem I'm trying to solve, where a lot of people want Notion to be offline. They want to be able to access their data and modify, ideally, somehow their data while offline. And that's when I got one of the ideas. The other one is having shortcuts. That one I got because a lot of people have been building like habit trackers in Notion, uh, be it for workouts, sleep, reading, whatever kind of habits you're trying to build. Someone has a different version of habit tracker. So, uh, yeah, there are lots of those. But going in and like adding the how do how do how do you call that? Like when say you worked out today and you want to add it to the tracker, that's not as easy because you have to open Notion, you have to wait for it to load, you have to wait for the page or pages to load to get to the database or button where you are gonna record that. And then you have to add the thing. That's usually also not as easy as it should. So you have to wait like a long time just to press a button and or mark like a checkbox or something. And if that's once a day, it's not that bad. But some people track like their water or I don't know, a bunch of different stuff once a day. So they have to go in and do that 15 times. So I thought we should be able to do that from the phone home screen. I don't know why. Well, I kinda can figure out why Notion hasn't done that, but the idea is that that's where I got the idea for my app from. So yeah, I started trying to. I'm not gonna say I validated the idea, but I talked with a few people, and they like it. Some people have found workarounds, like using Make.com, creating the whole automation there, and then adding a Make shortcut to their phone home screen, and then it kind of works. But then you have to go outside, and then Make is not. I wouldn't say it's ideal, even though it works. So My plan is to combine those two things because I've seen a ton of people asking for offline mode. So that's where I'm going first. And build an app that solves those two problems initially, and then maybe some other stuff along the way. So I think that makes sense for how I got here. Uh, what I've learned, I'd say, is the first part and the one I'm struggling with, I'd say the most, is like what to work on, what should be included in this version of the app. As in, I started with the base thing, like I have a basic backend between my app and Notion, so I can handle objects better, easier in the app. And I have the app that connects to Notion, and so far I've been able to get the databases from what the user gives me. And then from there, go as far as adding new rows to the databases from the app. I gotta say that was pretty cool. Uh, and but then the issue comes where I have to identify the user to be able to tell Notion who they are, because the first time I did it, I hard coded a sample, a specific user in the backend, and then associated that user with my Notion account. So that's working, but right now I don't have a way to tell, say, if someone else were was to use the app, like I don't know how to differentiate with between them. The point is, I wanted to try adding users, but then I thought, do I really need that for this version of the app? And I got to the answer that not really. I may be able to like have everything on the phone and just tell Notion from there, but I don't have to know like in the backend who's making that call. So yeah, basically it's that, like what to include, what to work on. I feel like I've been working a lot on the app and I don't really have a ton to show for it because some of that those things uh I have removed, or I haven't found like the way to actually add them. So yeah, like I don't have a clear path right now. I'm figuring out a lot of stuff as I go, and that sounds good when you say it like that. But when you're trying to build something, at least right now for me, maybe because it's my like actual first project that I work on, most of the times I don't know like how what to do next, and maybe that's like the actual lesson I've learned. Like I have to plan better, even if like just in my mind, like does this really make sense? What's the whole plan? And just go forward with whatever I choose to do, because I feel like I end up going one way, seeing that's not as straightforward as I thought it was, then going some other way, and the same thing happening, and I either stay going between those two or find like a million things or just get discouraged from what I'm working on. because none of the say paths that I've been trying to get to work actually work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the actual lesson I've learned is that even though I can do it, I have to actually choose what path I'm going to be following and follow it. uh, Plan. I don't want to say precisely, but better what I'm gonna be doing with the app, and that's it. I hope this made sense. I hope this won't be the last one, and then I can actually hold the microphone better, so I don't sound like moving all over the place. And yeah, see you probably next week with some updates or something else that I have in my mind for then. Bye.